والعاقبة للمتقين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول في كتابه الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وجاهدوا في الله حق جهاده هو اجتباكم وما جعل عليكم في الدين من حرج رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي آمين يا رب العالمين. We walked through Surah Al-Anbiya and Surah Al-Hajj today during Tarawih prayers, and both of these surahs are very interrelated to the two surahs before them, which is Surah Taha and Surah Maryam that we recited yesterday. Okay, how are they related? The theme we talked about in Surah Maryam and Surah Taha is the ever-encompassing presence and hand of, or hand means support of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over you at all times. Every time we think of random things, we think we chose to do that. Our choice, because we have free will. So we are kind of the architects of our own fate. We essentially create our own life. That's how we view it. And one of the first revelations Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed in Surah Al-Alaq in the 30th chapter is, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق الإنسان اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق الإنسان من علق. It says later in that, midway through, I forget the verse number, أَرَّآهُ اسْتَغْنَى. Okay, that the human being thinks of himself as independent to do with his free will, his choices. I did this. And Surah Maryam and Surah Taha had the whole theme of like, you're not in control as much as you think you are. Yes, you have free will, yes, you make choices, but all of those choices are divinely ordained by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was Maryam alayhi salam thinking, what have I done? I went out here randomly and all of a sudden a messenger came to me and I am bearing a child even though I've been with no man. I wish I was dead. I wish I was a thing never remembered. I wish I was forgotten. This was the emotional outburst of Maryam alayhi salam on something that she felt she didn't choose, something that just happened to her, and she didn't understand it in the moment. And it's the same thing with Musa alayhi salam, right? When he is running away from Egypt after accidentally killing a man, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَنَجَّيْنَاكَ مِنَ الْغَمِّ. We saved you from becoming a hopeless person, from completely giving up on life. We saved you from that. You were going to do that, right? So it's like you're put in situations that you didn't want in your life, and you're telling yourself, this is bad, this is wrong for me, it should have never been this way. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end of it brings it all around saying, no, every single part of your life was for this, right? Especially when he's talking to Musa alayhi salam, he literally takes him from childbirth. Before his childbirth, he says, when we were with your mother as well, right? When we revealed to her, and we were there when you were put in the cradle, and we were there with you when the river carried you to the palace of Fir'aun, and we were there with you when you were reunited with your biological mother when she became a nurse, a wet nurse, and we were with you when your sister was there calling for that, and we were with you when you were in Egypt as a prince and you accidentally killed that man and we saved you from that hopelessness, and we were with you when you fled Egypt, and we were with you when you went to, like, this is Surah Taha, if you recite it, this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is walking Musa alayhi salam through. Like, I was with you the entire time. And then what does he tell Musa alayhi salam after giving him all of this like explanation of like his entire life and how everything was under Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's control? He says, ثُمَّ جِئْتَ عَلَىٰ قَدَرٍ يَا مُوسَى. He's like, you came in perfect appointed time. You think you chose to come up here, a random fire you saw in the forest, and you left your family. It's like, we're lost, let me go take a look at this fire. You think you randomly chose to come here. You جِئْتَ عَلَىٰ قَدَرٍ. You came here because I wanted you to come here. It's all according to what I divinely appointed. So this theme that's present in Surah Maryam and Surah Taha carries in Surah Anbiya, especially in Surah Al-Hajj in that last verse that I recited, both during Tarawih prayers and the one I recited right before I was giving this lecture, which is Huwa jitabakum. Alright, He is the one that chose you. Now there are many ways to, the word chose comes in many different ways. If you actually look at the translation, it comes وَأَنَا اخْتَرْتُكَ فَاسْتَمِعْ لِمَا يُوحَى. Ikhtiyar. So this Surah Taha, it means choose, but it's a different word. There is Allahu yastafa, alright? That's in chapter 22. Inna Allah astafa Adama wa Nuha wa ala Ibrahim wa ala Imran. That's in Surah Baqarah. So istafa is another word for choosing. So why the word huwa jitabakum? Why didn't it say huwa astafakum or huwa ikhtiyarkum? What's the difference? The difference is that jabu or ijtaba comes from specifically taxation. This is the linguistic translation of jabu. It comes from a tax collector. He is a person that is doing ijtiba. Okay? So what does that mean? A tax collector comes to your house, you won't get taxed unless you meet certain requirements, right? You have like a certain level of wealth. That's when you start getting taxed. It's not like you go to a homeless person on the street that literally has nothing, you're like, start paying up. Guy has nothing to pay, right? Wajtabakum refers to this linguistically. Of course, this is a different meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using, but it's related to that. Wajtabakum. Meaning you were chosen because you met certain conditions as a person. This wasn't a random decision. Ikhtiyar is supposed to be a decision you make on something you like in the person. Just because you like it. Alright? So for example, you go to like a clothing store and you just pick out a shirt. Your mom's like, hey, that looks ugly, why did you pick that? I have another one I like. And you're like, hey man, it's just my style, I like it. You don't have like this perfect logical argument for her or anything, it's just my style. I kind of like it. That's ikhtiyar. You're just choosing it because of something you like in it. Alright? Istafa is like, Istafa is just kind of like an appointed. It's like you're chosen predeterminedly. Ijtiba is different in that you're chosen because it meets specific preconditions of being chosen. Which is like, you know, if there's an example, it's like going to the tool shed and you're picking out, you know, you have a problem and you're picking out a specific tool. A power drill's not going to cut it because this thing's only for these things. You know, a saw's not going to cut it because it's only for certain things. These don't meet your prerequisites to solve your problem. So you find a specific tool that's fit for the problem you have and meets the prerequisites, you pick that one. That's a specific word for choosies either. What does that mean for us? When he says, Huwa jtabakum, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking to you and me. He's saying, I chose you because you meet certain requirements. You might not believe it. You might think of yourself, oh man, I'm kind of a loser, man. Like I wasted so much of my time, I wasted so much of my life. Oh man, I suck at this, I make mistakes here. You know, you have this whole host of problems. I'm just not fit to be a person, right? I'm just not fit to be like some amazing thing. I'm gonna be mediocre. I'm gonna, work with the status quo, and that's just how I'm gonna live my life. This is a shattering of that perspective. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, I don't care what you think of yourself, I chose you because you meet certain prerequisites. Not everybody gets to be a Muslim. Not everybody gets Iman. There are billions out there that are walking life heedlessly, worshipping whatever comes their way. Some worshipping their looks, walking by every mirror and they look at it. Some worshipping money, wherever they go, they just want to get some designer bag. Some worship fame, they're always looking at their follower counts and what they got a like and scrolling and stuff like that. People are worshipping anything and everything, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you know what? From all of these billions of slaves of mine that are alive right now, I'm going to pick these specific ones over here. Huwajtabakum, that's what it means. So it doesn't matter what you think about yourself, your self-efficacy or your self-confidence. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is confident in his decision that I'm going to make this person a believer. Not only am I going to make him Muslim, I'm going to make him a Muslim that's alive in this generation right now when things are as difficult as they are and things are as confusing as they are. Meaning you should tell yourself every day when you read this verse in Surah Al-Hajj, it's the last verse of Surah Al-Hajj, chapter 22. He is the one that chose you, and He didn't make your religion difficult for you. Everything is possible. There is not a single command that gave you that you cannot do. You can do it. It's a matter of whether you choose to live that life or not. It's a matter of whether or not that will be your story. Or will your story be like everyone else's? Going around worshipping anything and everything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because that's what fits your desires. So this, I didn't even give like the full explanation of the whole verse. This is like part of the verse. But I hope it, incites something in you. Self-confidence is one of the most important characteristics of a believer. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says the strong believer is more beloved to Allah than the weak believer, the ulama give an explanation. This is not just physical, even though that may be an aspect. This is to do with every aspect. A capable person is much better than an incapable person in the eyes of Allah, simply because of the things that they can do for His cause, for His deen. That's what it's about. So you got to convince yourself to be optimistic. You got to have the self-confidence that you can quite literally do anything that's possible in this world. And I say that like very specific wording, possible. Obviously nobody's going around here saying I'm gonna create a unicorn with my hands and start flying on rainbows. Like, that's ridiculous, right? That's out of the realm of possibility. But anything in the realm of possibility, you should be like completely convinced, I can accomplish this. So I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us to be those believers of high optimism, high self-confidence, that self-efficacy of a leader. Instill that in us so that we may serve this ummah in a better way than we are right now, and give at least some justice to our brothers and sisters that this Ramadan has just been nothing but bloodshed for them. They have had no safety at all whatsoever. Every single day they're waking up not knowing if they'll meet the next suhoor or the next iftar, and when they finally get to it, they don't even know if they have food for it to break their fast or start their fast. So I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us to be role models for not only people locally, but allow us to become those leaders and those saviors for our brothers and sisters that are not in the position to take that role up. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب